Will you explain the instructions before? Will you explain the instructions before?
Yes, yes, I'll do that. Yes, we'll do that first. And we'll talk
Just
about...
wait one break.
Дануша, ты же Miras, например, девушка. Дети, вот этот ковер, давайте вот этот пуф чуть-чуть сюда.
My name is Mr. Fred. Fred. Pretty short name. Not like Kazakh names, some are very long. Mr. Fred. And I am Miss Ramsey's husband. Know Miss Ramsey? Who teaches down the other end there.
Знаете мисс Ранжи?
Yes.
Мисс Ранжи учитель 4 класса. А мистер Фред это ее муж.
And I am a fireman.
Он пожарный.
Well, I don't know how do you say fireman in Kazakh? I can say it in Malay. In Malay it is bomba.
Скажите, как это по-казахски?
That's a very long word for a fireman.
Yes, very long.
Very long. So this morning I am going to talk to you a little bit about fire safety.
Сегодня он вам расскажет о пожарной безопасности.
Нет, ребята, вы же понимаете на английском. То, что вам не было понятно, поднимите руки, мы вам делаем перевод. Не надо, что вам дословно переводить.
Мне все непонятно.
Ты же третий год учишься говорить, не надо. Все переводить. Мои дети понимают уроки английского.
A little slower, yes? All right, I'll talk slower.
Он будет разговаривать немножко помедленнее.
Слушайте внимательно.
If I'm going too fast, you tell me. Fire can be good or it can be bad. Understand?
Yes.
Good fire can keep us warm, can cook our food. Bad fire can burn us or burn our houses down. Understand?
Хороший огонь может что нам дать?
Плохой огонь может дать всем смешные.
Может нас что? Опалить, может нам повредить, может спалить наш дом.
So we must know when fire is good and when fire is bad.
И мы должны знать, какой огонь хороший, и когда огонь для нас вредный.
That way we can keep ourselves safe.
И благодаря этому мы можем сохранить себя безопасно.
What are some of the things we should not do with fire?
You should not light matches.
We should not light matches, lighters,
Don't play with
candles.
Don't smoke.
Oh, don't smoke, that's very bad.
Don't play with
Bad for your health.
Don't play with fire.
You don't,
Match.
yes, a match.
Don't smash.
Don't
Don't
play
play with match.
Don't play with fire. Very important to remember. Don't play with fire. It is dangerous. But sometimes we get a fire and we must know what to do.
Мы все-таки имеем дело с огнем, мы должны знать, что нам делать. Да? Но так как мы имеем дело с огнем, да, у нас вся жизнь продолжается именно вот с огнем, то мы должны знать, что мы должны с ним делать, да? Для того, чтобы быть
Here in the school
здесь в школе,
we have fire drills.
у нас должны быть что? Безопасность.
The bell rings,
Когда он зазвенит,
everybody goes out.
должны все выйти
Understand?
куда? Эвакуироваться.
And you
Пока все понятно, да?
wait outside. Now, different in the winter, we wait inside.
Но если будет на улице холод, то мы должны, конечно, ждать где?
Смотри, как
in some place where it's covered with bricks. Probably.
Somewhere
In
safe.
Peru.
Somewhere safe is where you go. In the school, when you go outside, you go by the security gate. By the main entry, the final entrance. That's when the weather is fine. When the weather is cold, you go to the gymnasium. Yes? So you know now that is what happens when you have a fire drill. But what we have to learn and to know is what we do when there is a real fire.
Что мы должны делать, когда у нас будет происходить настоящий пожар?
We need to take the fire.
That would be very good if you knew how to use it.
Это будет хорошо, если вы будете знать, как им пользоваться, да?
I know.
Is that?
I know that.
No.
How, Чингис?
How would you use it?
We have to push, yes, push the.
What?
First we need this.
First you pull the pin.
Yes.
It has a little pin. You never got an extinguisher. It has a little pin. Pull the pin.
То есть там есть такая немножко маленькая отвертка, ее...
But do you know how heavy it is?
Знаете, сколько она весит?
Probably 5 kilograms.
It's more than 5, maybe 6 or 7 kilograms. It's heavy for small people. And also, it makes a lot of noise when you squeeze it.
Он очень шумит.
And it can frighten you.
Не может вас испугать.
But we're not going to worry too much today about fire extinguishers. There are many people around the school who are trained to use the extinguisher. So we won't worry about that. What I want to concentrate with you today is to teach you 3 things about being safe with fire.
Понятно?
I'm going to go up to the blackboard because I want to write some things on there.
Основные 3 идеи существуют для того, чтобы сохранить безопасность.
What I'm going to talk to you about is what to do if your clothes catch on fire. Understand?
Первое, если ваша одежда...
Stop, drop, and roll.
First, stop. Stop, that's it. Second, you drop. You drop to the ground. We'll get you to do it in a minute. And thirdly, you roll. You roll on the ground. Okay? So what we'll do, one volunteer. Here we are, come up on the mat. Come up on the mat where there's a bit of room. Okay. Right. Make some room for him because he's going to fall down and he's going to roll. All right? Okay? So, small room. All right? So, first is stop, drop, and roll. Yes. Good. Right, want to try? Right. Stop, drop, and roll. Now we roll. We roll because that will put the flame out, put the fire out. Okay. We'll still be burnt, but we'll be alive.
Действительно, тебе огонь нужно так крутиться.
So you remember that now? Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. All in there. Good? Right. Now, the next thing I want to do is teach you what you do if there is a fire in the room. And I'll go back to the blackboard. Excuse me.
Следующее, что хочет сказать, если пожар,
I'll go back to the blackboard.
Разве просто повернитесь, развернитесь.
This is a room. All right? And in the room we have a fire. All right? Here is our fire. Now the fire gives off smoke. Yes? And the smoke is hot. So therefore, we all know from Kepler, heat rises, yes? Goes up. So the smoke goes up. And
We have to crawl.
it starts doing this. And the more smoke, the further down it will come. And so we want to make sure that we don't breathe in that smoke. So who had the answer? What do?
Crawl.
We crawl. We get down as low as we can on the floor and we crawl to the exit. Because the air here is still clean. We can breathe it. If we stand up, we're in the smoke.
А если мы будем дышать, то что будет? Мы упадем в обморок. Нет,
Давайте дальше дальше. Это еще не все.
And a lot of people who get killed in fires are not killed by the fire. The fire does not kill them. The smoke. The smoke. Because it has a nasty gas called carbon monoxide, which is poisonous to humans. So, that is what kills people in fires. Not the fire, the smoke.
Большинство людей, которые попадают именно в такую ситуацию, то они умирают из-за чего? Не из-за самого огня, а
из-за вот этого, из-за дыма.
Это называется угарный газ. И он очень
гореть
вредный.
можно.
Right, let's have another volunteer. Someone different this time. I want someone to crawl around over to the door. Who's going to do it?
Кто может сделать?
Somebody who hasn't had a turn yet. Okay? Right, start by the television. And you get down as low as you can. Get your face as close to the ground as you can and crawl to the door.
This eye. This eye. This eye. Please eye.
That's good.
This eye.
Okay, who hasn't had, somebody who hasn't had a turn yet. There you go. Start by the television.
This eye next. This eye next.
You see how low you can get. As low as you can, that's right. No, you don't want to do it on your back because you can't see where you're going. Stay on your front, that's right.
И ты поползешь к огню. Please
Иди,
eye.
выходи.
Please next eye. Один.
Good, that's right.
Please eye.
How about one of the girls?
Eye.
One of the girls.
Йол, ну девочка.
Eye,
One of the
Она
girls.
не хочет.
Close as you can to the ground, that's right. That's good. Excellent. Right. So
Достаточно посмотреть.
that's two things we've learnt this morning. We've learnt this one, which is
Первое, что мы должны знать, это что?
Говорите stop, drop, and roll.
Second thing we learned is to
Roll.
roll.
Right.
Right. I said we would learn 3 things. Now this is the third one, and this is going to be your homework. See?
А третья вещь это то, что будет это вашим домашним заданием.
Yes!
See? Even firemen give
It's
homework.
very good. Нет, нам сейчас тут поджечь дом и убежать с него.
Давайте послушаем домашнее задание.
If you have a look,
Внимание.
if you have a look on the wall here,
Пока вы вопросы не пишите здесь.
you will see a plan of the school. On that plan, it shows you where to escape to.
Это вам показывает, куда вам нужно бежать при пожаре. То есть выйти, да?
Now, in my cottage, over wherever it is, over there,
То есть в моем доме, который находится.
Рядом со школой.
Мистер Фред живет там.
А можно я тоже нарисую
something like that it looks like.
Чё?
That would have not very good. Right. If there was a fire in my cottage, I make sure I have 2 means of escape, 2 ways out.
То есть у него есть в доме 2 выхода, которые можно выйти при пожаре, да? Можно так.
In my cottage, this is the bedroom, the sleeping room.
Спальня.
This is the kitchen, the cooking room. I have a door here and a door here. So when I go in my cottage, I go in that door and then in that door.
То есть когда он входит в дом, он входит вот именно с этой. То есть входная дверь находится с этой стороны.
If I have a fire in my cottage,
А если у него дома пожар,
I have 2 ways of getting out. My first way is I come out of the sleeping room, the bedroom,
Там кровать открывается и
and there and there. I go out the way I would normally go in,
то есть
through
он может
the
выйти
door.
из спальни. Из спальни туда
But I might not be able to get to that door. The fire might be there.
может там загорится, может пожар начнется.
Now what will I do?
С того места. И что мне делать?
I can't go out this window
Я выхожу через окно.
because it's got bars on it. I can't go out this window. It's got bars on it. But my kitchen window does not have bars. So my second means of escape is through the kitchen and out the
Второй
window.
выход у него через кухню.
If they're in the kitchen fire.
If there's a kitchen fire, I can come out here.
Why if it's 2 ends in the
Oh.
kitchen and
I'll run through it. I will run through it. I don't think that's very likely to happen. Okay? So your homework tonight, I want you to draw a picture of your apartment or your house, and I want you to show 2 means of escape, 2 ways out.
Это нарисовать план вашего дома и нарисовать 2 выхода в вашем доме.
у нас нет 2 выхода.
Подумайте.
Ваше домашнее задание.
Через окно.
what I suggest you do is when you get home, you say to your mum, or your dad, or your brother, or your sister, and get them to do it together, so that everybody in the house knows their escape plan.
The title of the class will be the escape plan, okay?
So do you all understand that?
Yes.
So when you go home this afternoon, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Mr. Fred, they
we
wanted to
can-
ask you several questions.
Oh yes, they can ask lots of questions, but I just want to finish this. What will be the first thing you do when
We
you...
can teach our dad, our family how to escape
They can help you draw the plan, and show where you can get out of your house.
Teach them if we have fire on our walls.
You can teach them everything you learnt this morning. You can teach them stop, drop and roll. You can teach them about crawling low. And they can help you make your escape plan from your house. Okay, now
И у нас есть...
there'll be thousands of questions.
Мистер Фред, дети хотят задать вам несколько вопросов, которые их очень интересуют. Вот можно, да? Сейчас можно это сделать.
Yes, please, go ahead. Yes.
Can we look how you walk?
Когда задаем вопрос, давайте, ребят.
Oh.
Когда задаем вопрос, надо на русском скажи.
They wanted to see how do you work.
How do I work?
Yes.
Well,
Is it possible?
not here, no, not from here.
Yes, of course not.
I think what we might do, I have got to talk to Miss Yelena about a number of things later in the week.
But can you show
What?
several actions how
Yeah.
to do it?
Yeah, what I'm going to suggest is that we might be able to get somebody from the local fire brigade to come in with a pump and the hose and do a demonstration. That is easier. I mean, we could go out there and I can drag a length of hose out, but you know, it's not really a logical. Yes.
People at first or
How many?
fire with water.
Should you tackle the fire first or should you go out? You should go out unless you know what you're doing. Unless you know how to use a hose and it is a small fire. Otherwise, the rule is get out, stay out. That is the rule. Get out,
Это самое главное правило, что
stay out. Don't come back in.
не
For anything.
возвращаться назад, избегать вообще.
Once you're outside, you're safe. Okay? If you knew how to use a fire hose, yes, you could put the fire hose. If it was a very small fire, let us say,
Mr. Fred, he would ask another question. How many people did you say?
how many people did I say? Oh gosh, I don't.
About.
Approximately.
Do you remember?
I've been a fireman for 50 years, 50 years. So
Он работает
I
50 лет уже.
I don't know.
5,000.
Сколько?
Oh, a lot.
You can't definitely say it.
No.
Maybe
I-
200, yes. Ой,
Maybe 200, 300. Very hard question. Very hard question.
Почему ты выбрала эту профессию?
Дети, не слышно Данель. Дети,
Скажи.
внимание, Данель задает вопрос. Кира.
Why did you choose this work?
Why did I choose to be a fireman? That's a very good question. I don't think I chose it. I think it chose me. If that makes any sense. I had another job. I was a salesman. I used to sell typewriters. But I found it a very boring job. And one day, I walked past the fire station. And they had a little advertisement up saying, fireman, trainee fireman wanted. And so I went in, found out, applied, got the job, and that was 50 years ago.
А как бы самое первое, что было ответом на не он выбрал, а его выбрала сама.
Да, но он же сначала пошел.
Правильно.
Ребята, вы слушайте внимательно. И ответы. Лаура, do you have any words in your profession? Any words, words?
Special words?
Yes.
Yeah, most of them are technical. For example, we don't say fire engine. We say appliance, because it's not just an engine. It's an engine and a pump and hose and breathing apparatus.
No, Mr. Fred, you don't understand. A word, A-W-A-R-D.
Oh, a wall.
Yes,
oh,
word.
Sorry, a wall. Yes.
No, not word.
Do I have it?
Yes. Do you have it?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
In this question.
Yes. Several.
Много, несколько.
Yes.
Лаура, вставай, задавай, чтобы тебя погромче.
Do I like it?
Do you like exception job?
Yes. Yes. It's very exciting.
Due to several reasons why.
It's exciting.
Это захватывающе.
It keeps you fit.
Это заставляет вас в форме.
Although I need to lose some of this. Too much good Kazakh food.
You're fit, Mr. Fred.
And it's a close-knit profession.
Это очень командная работа, поэтому.
I can go anywhere in the world and go to a fire station
Я могу поехать в любую точку мира и.
and we know what we're talking about, even if it's a different language. We are all firemen.
Но даже если мы не знаем друг друга, не знаем языка, мы все равно можем друг друга понять.
How do you save people from fire?
How do you save them from a fire? Well, it depends on if they can walk out, then you help them out.
Это зависит от того, от быстро, как ты можешь.
If they can't walk out, you have to carry them out. You put them on your shoulder and you carry them out. And sometimes
Конечно, ты должен его взять сначала.
you might have to carry them down the ladder. So if you've got somebody on your back and then you've got to go down the ladder.
От веса человека, если ты его можешь взять на руки, ты можешь потащить его на спине или еще. Существуют разные версии, как
It's
можно.
hard work. And you might also be wearing breathing apparatus,
Конечно же,
a
у
face
тебя
mask, with a
противогаз,
big tank
и это
on the back.
уже, в принципе,
And then you've got to put somebody on your shoulders as well.
веса, и
And
поэтому
take them down the ladder.
еще сверху ты держишь голову человека. Это очень тяжело.
Yes? Who's next? We've got hands all over the place. Who hasn't had a cameo?
What do you think about the job?
What do I think about
Fireman.
the, about the job? I love the job. It's what I've always done.
He has already said.
I've always, well, most of my adult life, I've been a fireman. Nowadays, I don't go out fighting fires so much. I teach and I write.
Mr. Fred, can I ask you?
Yes.
This is a very dangerous work. What do you think about it?
It is a dangerous job. Yes, it is a very dangerous job. But that is
Do you
why.
think about this every day?
No, that is what training is all about.
Are you afraid?
No? Oh, well, no, if I was afraid, I wouldn't do it. I'm careful. And this is where training comes in. You might think firemen sit around in the fire station doing nothing, waiting for the bell to go, and then running and jumping on the fire engine and go. No. You train, you train, you train, you practice. You practice. That is what most of the work is about. So that when you do go to a fire, you don't have to stop and think. It is automatic. You know where everything is.
Все происходит автоматически. То есть, когда ты видишь пожар, ты уже стараешься помочь.
Who's next?
Кто еще не задавал вопрос? Бану, задавай вопрос.
Нурмажан.
Бану, давай.
Он сказал, не помню, ее уже Можете спросить про личную жизнь, можете спросить про его семью.
Let's have this one while we're waiting. Yeah.
Нет, пожалуйста, кто уже?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be a fireman when I was a child. I didn't know what I wanted to be really. It wasn't until I was older, and when I first started, I still didn't know if that's what I wanted to do, until I had been in the job maybe 2 months, and I said, "This is what I want to do. This is the job I enjoy
для
doing."
того, чтобы понять, что это его истинная та работа, чем он хочет заниматься. И он это понял.
And I'm probably very fortunate in that it has taken me all over the world. I have worked in fire brigades in many, many countries, from Africa to South America.
Везде они есть, начиная от Южной Америки до Южной Африки до Америки.
Бану, задавай вопрос.
It's hard to be a fireman.
It's hard work. You have to train. You have to be fit.
Ты должен быть в хорошей форме, ты должен быть здоровым, натренированным.
But you can be a firewoman as well. Yes.
Есть тоже женщины пожарные.
There are lady firefighters in many countries in the world. Many.
Шингис, задавай вопрос.
What is the best organization in the world?
The fire brigade.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the best organisation.
Жанерке. Next. Переведите от Ерке. Сколько лет надо учиться, чтобы стать пожарным?
How many years should we study to be a fireman?
Слушайте, всех же
It
интересовало.
takes probably, to be fully qualified, will take probably 2 years.
Примерно 2 года.
But then after that, you can do exams, you go for promotion, and you go up from fireman, to leading fireman, to station officer, to commander, to fire chief. And that can take many years. It took me I think it took me probably 20 years before I became fire chief.
Понадобится примерно 20 лет, чтобы достичь совершенства в этой карьере. And how many years or months did you study to be a fireman?
Well, I studied, to begin with, it's 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. But you study all the time. You don't stop studying. Right. Last one.
Последний вопрос.
Who hasn't had a... Here we are.
Do you work every day?
Do I work every day? Not anymore, no.
Please.
Так, пишем ты последний завершающий вопрос, пожалуйста.
I think about what the world of firemen. What is this? What?
Best representation in the world of
Oh.
fire.
Which is the best?
Best in the world. Or which country?
Well, they're all good. I mean, some of them are quite famous.